The story of Noah's flood is mentioned prominently in the Bible and the Quran. According to the Bible and the Quran, the incident dates back to 2500 BC. When God saw that wickedness had increased greatly in the world, He decided to cause a great flood. God ordered Prophet Noah to build an ark and to take a pair of every kind of animal into that ark. Prophet Noah followed God's instruction and built a great ark, and when the flood came, he was able to save some believers and animals. After the waters of the flood receded, the prophet, his followers, and the animals came out of the ark and revived the earth. The same thing happened with King Manu. The story of Manu is found in the Matsya Purana, a Hindu religious text. According to the myth, Manu appeared during the Kali era. According to Surya Siddhanto, a textbook of Hindu astronomy, this period is roughly 3000 years before the birth of Christ. This timeline is close to the time of Prophet Noah. The fact is that the story of a great flood is found in the Matsya Purana. According to the myth, Manu was a king who was extremely devoted to Lord Vishnu and engaged in penance for Vishnu. Pleased with his devotion, Vishnu appeared to him and warned him of an impending flood. Vishnu said that this coming flood will destroy all living things on earth. To revive the earth after this flood, Vishnu ordered Manu to build a huge boat and fill the boat with animals, plants, and seeds. Manu obeyed the instructions of Lord Vishnu, and indeed a great flood came, and he and his family and animals could save themselves by boat. After the flood subsided, Manu, his family, and other creatures came out of the boat and revived the world. A flood is also found in the legend of Gilgamesh. This story is mentioned in the ancient Mesopotamian epic, the Epic of Gilgamesh. Many historians believe that the story was written 2100 years before the birth of Christ, but some believe the story may be older. According to this story, in the Epic of Gilgamesh, the god E warned of an impending flood. God E ordered a designated messenger to build a boat to save the seeds of all living things. The god's messenger followed the instructions and built a huge boat and brought the people and animals into that boat. When the flood came, he and one of his companions survived the flood by floating on a boat for several days. After the flood receded, they came to the top of a hill. Even if there are slight differences in the details of all these stories, it does not take extraordinary knowledge to understand that the stories are essentially the same. All three stories tell of a great flood that destroys almost all of humanity. In each story, a chosen person is tasked with building a great ship to save all of the animal species. In each story, the chosen one follows the divine instructions that come to him, builds a boat, takes all the animals into the boat, and after the flood waters recede, gets out of the boat and begins the work of reviving the earth. Let's see the similarities of the stories at a glance. 1. All three stories predict a great flood. 2. In all three stories, a man is chosen to protect the animal world. 3. In all three stories, the chosen one builds a boat. 4. In all three stories, the hero manages to survive the flood and get out of the boat. 5. In all three stories, the heroes and their companions revive the world after the flood recedes. 6. In all three stories, the flood is caused to punish people from the face of lawlessness. 7. All three stories emphasize the power of faith and loyalty in the face of adversity. 8. All three stories speak of the optimism of rebuilding after destruction. 9. All three stories have served as inspirations for people of different cultures to survive and overcome adversity. Interestingly, the story of this boat and the Great Flood was not only in these three cultures. Rather, the story of Noah has been repeated in every culture of the world. Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, Zeus, the king of the gods, decided to send a great flood to cleanse the earth of human evil. In that story, Deucalion and his wife Pyrrha built a similar large boat and floated for 9 days during the great flood when they came to anchor on a mountain. The story of Utnapishtim. Also in Babylonian mythology, a man named Utnapishtim was warned by a god about an impending flood. The story of the rainbow serpent. According to Australian Aboriginal mythology, the rainbow serpent was a powerful deity who was originally known as the god of rain. According to Australian mythology, the rainbow serpent caused a great flood that destroyed much of the world. But some people and animals somehow managed to survive by clinging to rafts made of trees. Kiche and the flood story. In Mayan mythology, the god Tohil sent a great flood to punish the people of earth for their sins. Only a few people could survive the flood by taking shelter on a high mountain. The story of Atargatis. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, the goddess Atargatis created man from clay. When another god threatens to destroy all life by sending a great flood, Atargatis transforms herself into a fish and protects her followers. The story of Bergelmir. In Norse mythology, a great flood is caused by the blood of the giant Ymir. Only Bergelmir and his wife managed to escape the flood by taking shelter in a boat made from a hollow tree trunk. What do we really understand when the story of Noah or the story of Manu is under different names in different mythological cultures of the whole world? We actually understand that between 2500 and 3000 years before the birth of Christ, if not all of the world, there was a great flood over a very large area of the world. where people and other animals died at a terrible rate. And then a man built a boat and saved many people. The man who built the great boat not only saved people but also accommodated countless animals on his boat. We understand that the story that came down to us 5,000 years ago, there was a desire to do something good. It is as if the ancestors wanted to say to mankind, there will be many crises in life, kids. You have to keep faith in unity. Just as you all saved humanity by making a boat together, you will also save your new world from crisis. Don't forget your other friends of nature and environment, other animals and plants, as Prophet Noah did not forget. Nowadays, there is a tendency among people of different religious faiths. Only I am right, only my religion is right, only my book is right, and everyone else is wrong. These words are repeated to insult people of other religions and other beliefs. Such bad practice should be stopped. Generally, every religious belief has a fundamental commitment to believe in many miracles. The legend of Prophet Noah in the name of Manu is also true in the Matsya Purana, and in the legend of Utnapishtim, Gilgamesh, Bargelmil. Everyone is actually telling the same story. The story of Prophet Noah is being told everywhere. That is, all of them are actually Prophet Noah. Again, all these are actually Manu Raja or King Manu. When you come out of stubbornness and look at the world with open eyes, you will realize that the whole world is actually singing with the same tune. Everyone is right in their own way. We are all the same. Everyone is a universe. And the essence of that universe is love.